All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Cast Sound Lab in beautiful Brooklyn, New York. Isaiah's like, is that where we are?
Yeah, we're in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're in Brooklyn, duh. And we're here with Mystery Mansion Talks, talking about Mystery Mansion. I'm Mike Handelman.
Isaiah Mueller.
Hunter West.
Oh yeah. So, Isaiah, I give you credit for coming up with the idea for Mystery Mansion.
Well, yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, let's jump into it. Talk about Mystery Mansion.
Well, so we're talking about, I just tried
Well,
to...
this is called Mystery Mansion Talks.
this is
I
Mystery Mansion
just
Talk.
queued you up perfectly to talk
right.
about Mystery Mansion.
Mystery Mansion was born out of my desire to always want to make a really cool, high-concept genre show, and I loved horror and puppetry, and I had some really cool people around me, and I was like, hey, let's just make a really awesome
These two guys.
show about...
We were around you.
We were all in our orbit, and we were all doing comedy. And I love Evil Dead, horror, creature, practical effects, and lore. And I was like, let's just do a show about that.
Do a show. Do you have anything to add, Hunter?
Well, I think something that we should add is we had a venue of such.
Yeah,
that
we had
were
a venue.
fortunate enough to
utilize.
Yeah.
Speaking very vaguely.
Super vaguely.
Well, we had a space, and that space lent itself to it was just a really cool set, and we had access to it, and so we worked with the
what we had.
managers, and worked with what we had, and
made it happen.
Mm-hmm. And we shot the entire show very quickly. You guys remember? It was what's called block shot, where we shoot everything basically all back to back. 6 episodes of Mystery Mansion, so
focusing specifically on episode one.
Yeah.
What was interesting about it though is that that was the one we didn't block shoot.
Was that? Oh yeah, we did the pilot, right?
Yeah, the pilot.
We shot the pilot independently.
So a little behind the scene factoid. Hunter and I have very different hair between episode 1 and the rest of the series because we were too lazy to cut it.
Right.
Yes.
We narrowly avoided a continuity issue. You probably wouldn't even noticed if I didn't point that out.
People should go back and really freeze frame and
really look at our hair.
the hair length.
Yeah, we have beautiful hair, Hunter and I.
Yeah,
so
very
really,
flowing hair.
Really enjoy it. So what do you guys remember from the production process of episode 1? I remember. So you presented us with the initial script.
Right.
Before we'd written anything. So we started with that script.
Yeah, started with the one episode, the one pilot, before we actually got into the breaking the rest of the series down and writing it.
I remember, so fun fact, we have Melchizedek the cat features heavily on the show. It was not originally a cat. Does anyone remember what that was?
No. What was it originally?
Was it a cyclops?
It was it was like a little baby demon.
It was like a little baby demon. And we're like, look at the cute baby demon.
Oh, yeah, it was a little green gremlin looking thing.
Yeah,
that's right.
And our very talented puppeteer, Rocco George.
Shout out to Rocco George.
Did not have time to make it. So we were like, what else does Rocco have? He had the cat.
Right.
That was the birth of
Melchizedek.
It's a good little tidbit.
That is funny, though. We were like, can you do baby demon? He's like, I have a demon cat. We're like, we'll take it.
Hey, you know what? We'll take a demon cat. People love cats.
And it's one of those happy accidents, that actually turned out to make it, a lot better. I remember what was really cool shooting the first episode was I specifically wanted to see Hunter suffer. So I wanted
big time.
I want Hunter to lose his eye.
Some kind of maiming to happen.
Some kind of maiming needed to happen to Hunter. And so I remember when we were shooting it, we were trying to figure out how we were going to do it. And it was this really we were worried it was going to be too complicated. But then I remember it was just one of those really easy movie magic things where I was really why don't we just hold the eyeball against someone else's head and we'll just do a really easy pulling thing. And it turned out to be much easier than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Do you remember the story behind that eyeball, Hunter?
Yeah, so I had done a show with a friend of mine who rips out my eyeball
in the skit that she wrote.
In a sketch.
Prior to us conceiving any of this.
Correct. And so she went out and bought a eyeball that matched my eye color, and I had kept the eyeball after the show.
Souvenir.
As a souvenir. And, when we were talking about what can we do to Dr. Ghoul when he gets mauled by this demon cat, I was like, hey, well, I have this perfectly matched eyeball.
It looked just like your eyeball too.
I remember it actually slightly differently. So I remember I was inspired because, speaking of Rocco, he had done our haunted comedy show that we were doing. And he had a bit where like he had a different alien puppet than the one we ended up using that like ripped his eye out. So he had this really dumb Halloween store like rubber eye that
Okay.
like had like a suction cup or something. And so my initial concept was we would try using that. But then you were like, actually, I have this like perfect replica of my eye that we can use. And then, what ended up happening is I was the one who was, I like held it. I'm like sort of holding my hand on my face. I had the eye like held here, and like the puppet was doing this, and
It was
we
like
just had
pulling.
it, and we had it turned in such a way where you kind of couldn't see my hand, and then in post production we cut the rest of the hand out, and that's where that moment came from. With CG blood, courtesy of visual effects director Dylan Mars Greenberg.
Yeah, man.
I don't
We
know why
had
I'm
a-
giving that
we-
fanfare to it.
Well,
She's
we had
great,
a,
though.
we had a great. I mean, we had such an awesome team, and that was also due to my friend Nelson Moses Lassiter,
Producer Nelson Moses Lassiter.
producer extraordinaire.
That's right, because Joe Welski, our director, hadn't joined the project at that time.
Right. Yeah, that was before Joe
That was
jumped
the
on.
before time,
The before times.
the before Joe time.
And so Moses is he was definitely a huge help, and he's
Super
working at Netflix
instrumental.
now, and he's
Hooked us
doing
up with director of photography
Yep.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G, and Moses and I had made some movies in the past, and so he helped us out with a whole bunch of people that came on, and we got our cinematographer and our some crew members.
It's true.
It was amazing.
What's your favorite memory from that episode 1 shoot? Hunter?
Yeah, episode 1 favorite memory, Hunter.
I mean, it just has to be getting my makeup done to make me look disgusting.
Yeah.
I've
and-
forgotten about that.
because
Right.
I don't think we really had like a specific idea of what my face was gonna look like.
I really
Right.
didn't think that whole thing was going to work. Like with the eye and then the
Right.
makeup. But
And
then
the
our,
yanking
our,
the eye out.
our makeup artist, Jessica Valenti, just showed up and just killed it. Like
Yeah.
almost killed you.
Right.
Great
I-
pull off the
literally
top of your head too,
tried
Jessica
to-
Valenti. Sorry, shout out to her. She's
I just think we sat down with her and we're like, here's what the scene is. Make me look gross.
Yeah, maybe
And
you look like my eye has been torn out and infected by a demon. And she was like, "Yeah, that'll take me like an hour. Can we do that over lunch?"
Yeah,
It's
she
like,
whipped it up.
Yep.
absolutely
that's great.
crushed it. I think she put like some sort of padding over my eye
Yeah.
Yep.
and then,
And then built the
bloodied it up.
latex over that, and like, yeah, it looks awesome. Shout out to Jessica.
And that's what's cool about our whole style is like it's got this whole folk art, style, and like
Ooh,
they just
folk art.
yeah, it's like it's like
Like-
very handcrafted, stuff. And Hunter, he had this eyeball from a show he did at like the Pit, and the Pit is a comedy club
In
and
Manhattan.
in Manhattan, and he kept on to like those little details. And then we have Jessica who comes in and she's like, I can whip this up real fast.
Saw the vision, made
Yeah.
it happen. So Isaiah, what was your favorite moment from the episode 1 production process?
I remember it was just amazing. It was just crazy that we were all super committed and we were all really making it. And it was just seeing it come to life was just awesome. Seeing Hunter, get his eyeball ripped out like I had been so desiring and rubbing my hands about.
Okay, we get it. You
He
wanted to
needed the
murder
eyeball
Hunter on camera.
to be yanked.
I will say that was definitely the best episode to start off
yeah,
with just like the fun we had.
it was so much fun.
It was just a great way to start this.
And
Great
I
way to
remember
start
Hunter
this whole-
when we
whole
were there in
journey.
the morning, and Hunter's just standing there, and we're at our set, and it's like 5:00 in the morning, and you have the smoke machine, and you're just like,
Well, that was
pressing the smoke
you're
machine
getting
button.
you're getting ahead of yourself a little bit because
Was that not the pilot?
that was episode 2.
oh shit, my memory's fucked. I smoke a lot of pot.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay, Isaiah. All
But it
right.
was just we had so much fun, making it. What about you, Mike?
So I'm trying to think of like little tidbits we can give to any aspiring writers and producers out there. I think my favorite part of it actually was the writing process.
Mhm.
And shout out to Hunter. I remember that we were sort of putting it together and finding the best version of the plot and the jokes and everything. Because at one point actually it was my character that got injured by the demon.
Oh, was it?
I think in the very early draft, like,
Okay.
yeah, I was the one who was like, this demon doesn't matter, and like cut my hand or something. And then we worked out that it would be Dr. Ghoul and his endless stupidity who gets hurt. And I think it was Hunter who had the idea, because originally, in the original draft, I came out and just threw some holy water on the demon, and that was the solution of the problem.
Right.
And it was Hunter who was like, well, can we bring the Necronomicon back into the fold somehow? And I was like, that is such a useful tidbit.
Yeah.
Is like, how can you find the components that you introduce in the script and find ways to tie them together? So try to tie it together, kids. If you're watching, this has been Mystery Mansion Talks, episode 1. Out.
Roll credits. Roll credits.
Roll credit.
Cut the camera.